All right, guys, we're back at the Zapata Brand podcast, and right now we have again Coach D. We're going to go over a few things. He's back in town for a few hours today. Came in, helped me out here at the shop, had some stuff to do, and getting ready for the big weekend here with Greg Valentino. Well, we're going to talk real quickly. Let's go first. Let me do a couple things of house cleaning. Okay. I want to give a shout out to Tanner Clarko. Tanner Clarko is a subscriber here at the YouTube channel at the Zapata Brand podcast. He likes, subscribes, he likes all our videos and comments on our videos. We appreciate that very much here. We need that to keep developing our business here. The Zapata Brand podcast at the YouTube channel that it is. I don't know if there's any other people that have been more supportive than them. We have also Yup883. He comments, he subscribes, he likes it and shares it. Very, very, very good people, and we appreciate that, believe me. So let's do a little house cleaning about what happened last weekend. We didn't get a chance to talk. You were busy with your regular job. We didn't get to talk about it. Jake Paul, Nate Diaz.
Yep.
Obviously, you were correct, except with the fact that he won a unanimous decision, not a split decision. Let's start by saying what Jake did well and what Jake did not do well.
Okay.
Or what he can improve on.
There's a lot that I think Jake can improve on with, his stamina and stuff like that. But doing what he did against Nate, it's what I expected, outboxed him. Mm-hmm. The jab, the right hand. Something with the left hook was different. I didn't expect him to land that left hook on Nate a couple times.
No, he did well. I can tell you that. He was. I thought it was going to be over in the first round. I actually did. He came on.
Yeah, he did come out strong.
Like gangbusters right out of the gate.
But Nate smothered him, and
and he's also survived there. He did what he had to do.
Yeah.
That's a smart fighter if he's going to go the distance. That's what he had to do.
Yep.
So that happens.
Now, with Nate, I think there was a time that he knew he lost the fight. Okay. So he started trolling him and stuff like that. Put him in the guillotine and stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought that, at that point, I think he knew, okay, it's over. Let's wrap this up. We're going to go the distance, and that's what it is.
I was surprised that he couldn't hurt Jake.
That didn't surprise me. Jake's a big guy. Jake's real big. Nate Diaz has not been known as a big puncher.
No, he has not.
So I felt that too. I did. So not to take anything obviously away from Jake. But it's Nate Diaz.
The atmosphere was great.
A great atmosphere. And they were there to see Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
He can sell tickets. Yes, Nate Diaz can sell. And he outperformed.
What do you think the buys are going to be?
Not much.
Yeah.
No. 300,000, 400 tops. Like I said, what was the pay-per-view we thought about? Crawford Spence.
Yeah.
You said 1-2, 600,000.
Yeah, it's just
that's not good.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you can steal it. You can do it. I mean, these kids know everything.
Yeah,
they know how to do it, so they're not paying for anything. They're not going to, and eventually they'll come out with something and they'll break that code.
Yep.
So I don't think you'll ever see million pay-per-view buys or 2 million, unless it's an unbelievable fight.
Two people in their prime.
Two people in their prime fighting.
Even that, because Spence and Crawford were.
No, it was 2 years too late.
Yeah.
2 years too late. That was 2 years too late. If it was when it was hot, they're taking it. They're gonna fight it, but
now,
not
did you
that
think
point.
with the Spence and Crawford, because UFC was on the same night, that took a little bit away from it?
I don't think so. I think they are too different. I think they're two different people, two different crowds. Because I tend not to go to the UFC. I tend not to. Boxing is my thing. So. Unless it's a big UFC, then I'll do it. Now, you on the other hand, I
like both of them.
You like both. You bet on both, and I don't know enough to say, hey, I'm confident that this is going to happen because even my boxing picks are horrible, absolutely horrible. So it doesn't matter, it really doesn't at that point. So. What we look now for Nate Diaz. Well, first, let's see. What do you think about Nate Diaz? Where do you think he goes from here?
I think him and Jake are going to fight in the PFL in MMA.
Okay.
I think it's signed. Technically, behind closed doors, it's signed. I think.
So you think an MMA fight is where he goes next?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So MMA fight, he goes there next. What about Jake Paul boxing? Where do you see him going there? Is there anything that he can do now, or does he go to fight a bigger fish?
I don't think he'll fight a bigger fish. You know who's pretty dangerous is Jose Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez, yes. If you didn't see it, Jose Ramirez was sliding into second base. Tim Anderson is the I don't know if he's a shortstop second baseman for the
White Sox.
He hit him, and there was words exchanged, and they started swinging, and exactly what happens when you're not paying attention, he got caught and froze, and then went down.
Yeah.
Then what? That is a knockout. That he was out. When you
the funniest part was him walking back to the dugout,
and he was assisted back to the dugout by his
stepping
friends.
all over potholes and stuff like that,
looking like Route 17, then Jersey with the potholes. But he that would be a dangerous fight. I can tell you that with them two fighting. But who do you see Jake fighting next if he was going to stay boxing?
I'm saying I think he'll rematch Tommy Fury after Tommy Fury fights KSI.
Right.
Logan Paul's fighting Dylan Dennis on an undercard. For some reason, I do think that Jake and Logan are going to fight in a couple years.
Jake and Logan Paul?
Yeah.
Really?
I just have a feeling.
I don't see that happening.
Jake's going to go to WWE.
Maybe in WWE, something like that. But no, I don't think in a real fight, because Thanksgiving dinner could be goofy. They're both sitting there, after they just pummeled each other, and if someone, God forbid, someone got knocked out, that's definitely not what Thanksgiving dinner wants to be. But now we'll go a little bit further down the road here, November 4th.
That's right.
Big announcement that was made last week. However, it was supposed to be on another podcast that I did, but the audio got screwed up again.
No.
This internet issues with this company are beyond.
We're not going to tell the company.
No, we're not. But it's the only company around here. It's unbelievable that I pay the amount I pay for internet,
and you just upgraded.
And I just upgraded, and they can't get it right. They can't get it right. Literally, I'm uploading a video, the David Kitchen interview.
That was a great
interview, two-parter. I'm excited. I hit the button to upload it. An hour and 37 minutes remain. What? No, 137 hours. 137 hours and some amount of minutes remained. So basically 5 days later, you'll get it.
No.
But I had to take the video, get it to somebody else. Rich, the producer here, does a great job producing the film. All those effects and everything you see here, that's from Rich. Rich does that, and he does a very good job with it.
So going back to November 4th?
November 4th. Main event. It was a shocker to me, only that the fact that I didn't know he was thinking about it.
He told me, what did he tell? He told me probably the beginning of the summer. Well, last year, remember, it was supposed to go down. Yeah,
but what happened last summer?
I think the guy pulled out. They couldn't find someone.
Okay, yeah, I think that's what it is. I think they said that they had emptied the morgues, so there was no dead body for him to fight. But Leo Talenka, stepping into the ring at 50-some years old for the first time against another man, that is a boxing match.
Yep. He's putting in work, thoh. He is putting in the work.
We see the videos that are online. He's putting in the work. He's looking great, trim. He started at 2-something, mid-2s, 230, I think. Oh, he is 6'4", 6'5", but 230. He's down to 195.
What are they going to fight at?
We don't know yet. He wants to get to 85. I told him no. I said I think he'd be better at 95, 93, right around there.
Okay.
You don't want to get too light. Especially if you're just you're 50-some years old. You need some substance. He'll be fighting at the WESTSIDE Ballroom November 4th. Opponent to be determined. Kenny Van Scoy is doing the matchmaking. He does a great job. I'm sure they'll find someone that is equal match. It is a fight that not that I'm concerned, but I always fear when someone gets in the ring that is heavyweight. Know my concerns.
Why do you fear that?
First of all, everybody above 170 hits hard, but some just hit harder than others.
Yep.
When you're in that ring, you're now zapping that energy. So no matter how much you worked out and what work you put in, your adrenaline's high, your energy goes down. So adrenaline high, energy down.
Once the hands are getting wrapped,
that's a big time. You're sitting there now. You know, across the ring from you is a guy who's put in the work. Hopefully, not as much as you did, but he is trained to disconnect the blood flow from your brain to your body for 10 seconds. That is the definition of a knockout. You're cutting off the circulation. So that goes through your mind, and it happens every single fight. The fights that it's worse, well, even sparring, you kind of like, okay, fights are worse because you don't know that guy. You don't know. All the unknowns are there. And then you going in a ring, now you're in there the first time.
Everybody's eyes are on you.
Hometown, WESTSIDE Ballroom, a facility that you own.
Yep.
You know, is it a recipe for disaster? But to be great, you have to take that challenge.
He has to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable, and he's got to get used to being uncomfortable.
That's right.
And if he wants to be great, he's got to make sure he does it that way.
He already won.
Oh, he already won. There's a very small percentage of people at that age and have, number one, lost all the weight he has. Number two, fighting another man in your underwear and a T-shirt, essentially, in front of your hometown. It don't get any more personal than that.
Nope.
So there you are doing that. What else is there to do? You've already won. And now you're going into the ring with the mindset of, I'm going to show these kids that I can do just what you can do.
Yep.
And I'm not just saying it, I'm doing it.
And he's doing, the important thing is he's doing it, you know, when no one's looking.
He's training
4:30, 5 in the morning. Mm-hmm. No one's looking.
There's nobody holding his hand and saying, you got to go here. And
I will be down to help him out a little bit, probably every other weekend or so.
Yeah. And you're the one who's going to say, right, you think you got enough work in? No, you don't. You want, let's do more work.
Yep.
You're the one's going to be saying, we need an extra round of sparring. You're the one's going to say, I need another round of jump rope. But the big factor is he's doing it by himself right now.
Yep.
Because if he wasn't, he wouldn't look that way. He wouldn't. He wouldn't be in shape. So just by looking at him, you know he's putting the work in.
Yep.
Let alone where the work you're doing with him.
And he has everybody supporting him as well. That's a good thing.
He does. It's good and bad. Because it depends on how he comes out. If he comes out trying to impress everybody instead of following what we're going to tell him to do, it could get goofy. Some people perform good. Some people perform bad. This fight is a dangerous fight. I'm going to tell you, it's a dangerous fight. The guy that we're going to get for him is going to be of equal skill. It's going to be who puts in the more work and who has the ability to be comfortable in uncomfortable positions, and that is it. That's who wins this fight.
Who else is on the card?
Well, on the card, we have Danny Zola. There's Coco, the two girls, Jenny and Aubrey. There is the girl who beat Aubrey. I forget her name. It's the Boss Man's girl. She was very good. Man. She had the Boss Man bro. He'll be in town. Hopefully, I'm going to get him on the podcast.
You need to. Great stories with him.
Of the funny stories I have with the Boss Man, going all the way back to Altoona the night before Thanksgiving.
Was it a blizzard?
It was a blizzard, 27 inches of snow, lake effect snow in Altoona, Pennsylvania. The Bizarro brothers were having this big thing out there. And Bizarro's father fought Roberto Duran back in the day. And it was basically everyone from this area against all their guys. And my one main guy beat Lamar Jackson. I know it sounds like the other guy, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jones.
Chris?
Nope, it was John Scalzi.
Okay.
From Scranton. Went in there and beat Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson fought Oscar De La Hoya in his first fight.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And it was a easy fight for John. Yeah. The easy fight. John was in great shape. And he won. Easy fight. We had Dennis Burley, Bruce Corby, and two other guys that were the fight. Oh, Jen Garner. She got beat. Darlene, she won.
It wasn't Darlene the one that fought...
Darlene fought Joe Frazier's daughter, Jackie Frazier.
In Delaware.
In Delaware. She also fought Amy the Bulldog Burton up in Connecticut.
Okay.
When the Hall of Fame was going on. ESPN show. That was a very, very... she was good. It's just... It was a bad timing Bad timing for her. So who else is fighting? Oh, so Danny Zola will be there.
Will
be fighting. As always, you call Will, he's there to fight.
Yep.
Will comes to fight. He could be driving a truck to California and come back, and then he's fighting.
And it's funny when like you're doing a mitts with Will in the back, he'll be like, "Hey, I'm going to do this today.
It's
Tonight, I'm going to do this."
Yeah. Oh, he tries to work on anything. Yeah. He's one of those very spontaneous guys. But I'll tell you what, you might not think it, just by talking to Will. He's one of the most intellectual, smart people I know, and that's surprising because you're like, man, this guy's a little out there, but he is one smart dude. I mean, finances. You could talk to him about finance. You could talk about social issues. You could talk to him about politics. The guy is well versed.
Well, that's good.
He's a smart reader too. He came back from so much adversity too, as well. Anything going on in your end of the neighborhood? UFC coming up soon.
A couple fights coming up.
A couple good fights.
We got Aljamain Sterling versus Sugar
Sean O'Malley.
What are you liking that one?
I'm going with Sean O'Malley. I think he just is a bigger guy. I would think you favor Aljo.
Yeah, I do. Okay. I do. I think his wrestling is just to another level.
Yeah, and he is a good wrestler. I just think O'Malley's bigger, throws his hands, and if you want to bet exactly opposite that I have because I cannot pick.
So what is your bet for that? Or you don't know?
Sean O'Malley. I think Sean O'Malley by knockout.
By knockout? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be Aljamain Sterling by bounce off the head.
Yeah.
He's going to bounce him off the head. So Jones, Stipe.
I think Jones will knock him out probably second round or so.
That would solidify him as the greatest MMA fighter of all time.
Well,
at that
greatest
point,
MMA fighter or greatest
combat? No, you can't say greatest combat sport of all time. No, because I think if John Jones fought somebody strict boxing, I think it's beat. If you fight a guy who's a straight boxer, the reason why John Jones is so good is because of the intangibles. He's quick. He's fast. Long arms.
That whole family
is talented. Yep. Talented. So would John Jones be great at boxing? I think he'd be real good.
Yeah.
I think he'd be real good. But there's guys who are doing it since they're 8 years old.
Yeah.
So it could be either way. We have also, excuse me, Dillian White test positive again for steroids.
Something's got to give.
Once again, testing positive for steroids, which now Helenas pops in to fight Joshua.
But I want to ask you something. Do you think a majority of the athletes are a little on something?
Allegedly?
Allegedly.
Okay. Allegedly, yes.
Okay.
And I say that only because look at AI. See how progressive it is?
Yep.
Right? There's always someone ahead of the game. There's always someone ahead of the game. Whether it's Victor Conte and his group, whether it's Anderson's group, the guy Mimo from Mexico.
Okay, yeah.
Okay? Everybody's ahead of the game. They're not catching everybody. And a matter of fact, do they really want to catch everybody?
No.
Probably not.
The people that, the doctors that are trying to make it so you can catch them are the ones that are making it so you can't catch them.
So realistically, what is that? Why not open up the floodgates?
That's what I was going to ask.
Here you go. You can do what you want. Do what you want. It's not fair, but I mean, how is it possible? You know what I always notice too? Anytime there's like a real Rocky story, whether it be baseball, basketball, football, or something always happens. Whether they're caught with steroids, caught with performance enhancing drugs. Look at Lance Armstrong. Oh my God.
Yep.
Got through cancer, bang. Rafael Palmeiro did this. I did everything the right way. Bang, he gets caught.
Right. He went up to Congress. Then that was the wrong thing.
Yeah, I mean, you go up to Congress and say, read my lips.
Yeah.
He did the old George Bush.
Yeah.
And that cost him the presidency. It cost him his career, Hall of Fame.
Yep.
I mean, no one's putting him in.
No.
I don't care who you are. You're not putting him in.
Nope.
Never. Now, Clemens could get in. I think McGuire could get in.
I think the only one that could get in is Bonds. I think Bonds would
Barry Bonds should be in.
He should.
Should be in the Hall. So should Pete Rose.
That's what I was going to say, too. What about A-Rod? Do you think A-Rod will ever get in? The reason I think he will eventually is because he's commentating. He's in the sport. He's in the sport.
I think what he does for the sport. Yeah. And the fact that the writers put these guys in.
That's bull.
I mean, Jim Rice didn't get in, or Jim Rice didn't get in. Oh, I don't think Jim Rice is in. He might not even be in. Jim Rice or the other guy who doesn't talk to the media, Eddie Murray. I think Eddie Murray's in. Eddie Murray's in the Hall of Fame. He never talked to the media. It took him forever to get in.
Like Bonds, the media hated Bonds.
Yeah, so it didn't matter. So they're going back to the point where you have this story of Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds. There's always something that comes back to haunt you. The Manny Pacquiao going 112 to 147. Allegedly, he was not a clean fighter.
No, and he shouldn't have been knocking Cotto around the ring like that.
No, but even so, like, Paulie Malignaggi talks about all the time. He was using.
Oh, yeah.
He'll come right out and say it. If he wasn't using, why doesn't he sue him? I don't know.
Defamation.
I don't know anything. Allegedly, this is what he said. I didn't say it. He said it.
I do want to ask you one thing because, you talk about Manny Pacquiao going up and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what Floyd said about Spence?
No.
He doesn't think he should fight at 147. He thinks he should go all the way up to 160, 168.
That only worked for one person that I know, Chris Bird. No, honestly,
he went all the way.
He went to heavyweight.
Yeah,
I remember him as an amateur at 65. So 165 came out, fought heavyweight. Now, if you see him now, he's a lightweight.
Yeah,
and he doesn't look healthy. But he cut out a lot of sugar and stuff like that. But he didn't look healthy to me. But when he went up to heavyweight, he won because he was so fast you couldn't hit him. Yep. It was an awkward style, and even when he did get hit, he kind of took the punches a little bit. Yep. So that itself shows me maybe that's Spence's move.
I mean, Mayweather says, he's not with the camp, but he knows, and he said it's better for him to move up.
He didn't look good, that's for sure. So maybe there's got to be some changes. But then again, you're looking, they all hit harder up there. And you talk about getting your clock cleaned. He got his ass kicked.
Yeah,
that was a bad night. That was a bad night. And you give credit to Terrence Crawford, but that was a bad night for him.
I mean, Terrence Crawford was calling out his next fight.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
That was embarrassing. Now, that Charlo was fighting Canelo.
Canelo, yeah, but still.
The other Charlo wasn't calling out anybody.
No. The only one, he was calling the cops on Plant.
No.
Did you see that?
Oh, I saw it.
He pressed charges, I guess. Or supposedly,
did he? Are you kidding me?
Nope. He posted it.
Oh, God. This guy, you talk all that trash. And again, I'm not the one to talk trash because they'd beat the hell out of me. But if you're in that space, it's the hurt business.
And I guess what happened, because Plant was talking about it, Charlo came to him.
Yes.
Was pulling at his beard and stuff like that. Hey, he asked for it.
Boy, he got it.
Oh, yeah.
He got it. I'm surprised that his dentures didn't fly out. So after, go ahead. After you were going to say.
No, I was just going to say about the kitchen.
Oh,
podcast.
yeah.
That was great.
Let me finish up here a little bit and round this back in. David Kitchen interview, 2-parter. It dropped last night and this morning. Very good interviews. David is a very good speaker. And I was talking to my brother about it while I'm trying to get into the speaking space. And I knew after the interview, I said, I have to get better.
The one thing I asked you, what did you learn from that? That interview, what did you learn?
Yeah, I just got to get better. There was
but if you could do one thing.
If there was one thing I could do.
One thing.
I would say have everything. I think he's so good at taking a story and adding the quotes and the clips of life and putting them in and keep going. Like, I can't think that quick. I get into this story and I start going off and on, and he has it all funneled into one story, and this is where I'm going with it.
And I think the one thing you told me was he, when he's speaking and stuff, like when he's speaking, stuff can come off, like someone asks him a question and he'll get off the road, but he'll bring it right back. He brings it right back, and he's funneling it all to his message. Yep.
And it's when you see it and you're doing it, you can see him. You're like, man, he's good, because you can see where it comes. It goes right to here.
Yep.
And he's always like, when I first started, it was like that. Because I look at it now, I'm like, man, I got work to do, because.
But look, how long has he been in the game?
Over 10 years. He has over 10,000 hours speaking. 10,000. I have a grand total of 0. Except to my kids and to a couple high schools and stuff I went to. But as far as speaking on the big stage, he's got over 10,000. 10,000. That's why this podcast is going to help me, because I can interview these people. But speaking of interviews, coming up on Sunday, I will be interviewing Greg Valentino. We've just spoke a little bit over the phone the last couple of days. Great guy. You wouldn't expect, if you see his videos and stuff, the guy's a great guy. He has got some fascinating stories about his life, how he went through. You're talking prison, getting into fights with A-list celebrities. I mean, this guy's been through it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got some stories on stories.
Oh, yeah.
And he won't hold back.
No, from what I understand, it's an open book right now.
I mean, even on guys that you would think that are like big in the industry, he don't care. He's like, no, I'll tell you exactly who he is. This is the guy. Like, there's some guys he was telling me about that I'm going to have him talk on a podcast about. I said, are you okay to talk about that guy?
Yeah.
He said, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, and you know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
He said, yep, I'll talk about him. And I said, okay, if you want to. No problem. He goes, I don't care.
I think he's at that age where it's like...
Yeah. Well, what else is going to happen? Yep. What can he possibly... He's been through it all. Yeah. Really, he has. So we're going to have that wrap up on Sunday. I'm going to try to get it over to Rich as soon as I can, and then get it out to you guys as soon as we can. After that, we're going to have another guest on from Berwick, local. Jason Kingery. Now, his story is incredible. It's a rags to riches type of story. A guy who grew up in rural West Virginia, very poor family, extremely poor. West Virginia at the time when he was growing up too was even worse than worse than it is now, and it's a pretty rural area, except by the college. And he grew up through poverty. His grandmother raised him, became a standout athlete in high school, in college, and then went to West Virginia.
What sport?
He played football and basketball. Basketball is where he excelled. He has over 300 wins as a head coach in the high school level. He is now the assistant coach at Central Columbia down the street. But he's still an administrator here. Not an administrator. He is actually an educator here at the Berwick Area School District. Does very well. His wife is there. His two kids do go to Central, but his wife is also an educator here in the Berwick Area School District. We're going to have those two on. Then, as soon as I can get confirmation, there'll be someone after him that is a very big guest. She is involved in a roundabout way with some of the biggest people in the history of this world. Well known, and amazingly, it looks like we'll have her here.
Yeah.
She's promoting a book, and I'm really excited to see her here. As of right now, I'm assuming she will be here. I just have not talked to her one-on-one yet. We're going through a third party. Right now, I do have her number. I will call her and contact her. And once we have it set up and done, I will announce it on the podcast. We do have the promo already set, ready to go. And after that, I'm thinking of doing a couple more guests. Tim Witherspoon I've been talking to.
Yep.
Kenny Van Scoy. Leo we got to have on again. Couple other people.
I know I've been talking to a couple people that I want.
I mean, I would love to have. I know Kadeem Brown, great guy. His business attributes could go on and on. Doing very well for himself over in New York. I'd like to have him on. A couple other people that I want to have. But if you don't have anything else,
no, we're good.
I think I'm good too. And remember, don't be envious of what I've accomplished in my life. Be inspired by what you can do in yours. Thank you.